and he should have had a look there as well.
But look at this, the stats kind of sum it up quite nicely about how open this game is. Barcelona with a 5-4 victory. Just taking a look, remember it's the top 8 who automatically qualify. They get a bye in the knockout stages, and Barca are good for it, aren't they now? They've clinched around a 16 berth. Liverpool, we'll talk about it a little bit later, as they top the Champions League at this stage. For more on this, let's welcome in, shall we, Stewart Robson. Robbo, you're of course the voice of FIFA. This is very much like a computer game.
It certainly was. I mean, it was all action, wasn't it? Lots of decisions the referee had to make, some great goals, some poor defending. I mean, some of the defending, you saw Barcelona at some of their best when they were attacking and scoring goals. Again, some of the worst, because Benfica obviously had a game plan early on, the switches of play, and they caught a 2v1 against Koundé. The goalkeeper, what was he doing for the first goal? His starting position was about 10 yards outside the box, and he ended up about 30 yards outside the box. It's madness, some of their defending, but it makes for entertaining football, and it was a great game to watch. And in the end, when you have 22 shots to 10, you probably just about deserve to win the game.
Yeah, but it's crazy how Barcelona just are so open at times.
Yeah. And we showed that Di Maria going through and goal. There were other instances where they'd squeezed up and one sort of pretty simplistic ball got Benfica in behind, and either it was, missed the target or Szczesny had to make another save. It was just bonkers, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it really was.
The goalkeeping errors, the defensive frailties of both sides, the openness of it. The fact that Barcelona, I think, played, and Liverpool were the same, are in a pretty healthy position. They've had injuries this season, like a lot of teams, and they played. I was quite surprised by the teams that we saw.
Full strength, wasn't it?
The Liverpools and the Barcelona fielding. Bearing in mind the situation they're in this new format is very comfortable for them, and this was a strong Barca side. Obviously, Szczesny made some good saves that Stevie mentioned during the game. But as a guy that's come in off the beach, basically, is what he did a couple of months ago or whatever it was, that's not filling Hansi Flick full of confidence with his decision-making. I mean,
the way he wants his teams to play. This is the way he wants them to defend. And it only works if everybody's working on the same hymn sheet, but they're also pressing the ball and stopping the opposition having time on the ball. That wasn't the case today. The pitch looked too big for Barcelona's players today. So the Benfica players had time on the ball. They could pick their passes. The players in the front areas can bend their runs and stay onside. That big diagonal was causing problems. The more teams watch of Barcelona, the more trouble they're going to have. It was surprising. I was watching British TV and the co-commentator said, and I won't say who it was, after 10 minutes, Barcelona play a high line, don't they? They could be in trouble here. Well,
wow.
He obviously hasn't seen Barcelona play for quite some while, because that's what they do week in, week out.
they don't play in the Premier League, Rob. Well, that's why. I mean, they're playing, it's all about the Premier League, isn't it? I think in that, going back to that incident just before the Rafinha goal, I think it was Fermin Lopez. I think he just, to be fair to him, he's almost over the back of the player, then he realises and he sort of pulls back.
Okay.
And I think for that reason, when VAR looks at it, because there's definitely nothing from Szczesny, he comes out and plays the ball. I think probably for that reason, as VAR's looked at it and went, is there enough of a shove or is there a shove? I mean, we haven't got anything definitive, but it's the only thing I can think of. The other side of it is, there was 3 or 4 occasions, and Barca won the game, there was 3 or 4 occasions they were playing offside, half a yard from the halfway line. I mean, that you're talking about a risk, because I mean, for most people know you can't be offside in your own half. So all you've got to do is bend your run a little bit better, and you are so far up the field. But this, although defensively they looked frail at times against this Benfica side, and there was a lot of room. These are the games where Barca look exciting against a team that wants to play against them. Against the Getafes of this world, like we saw at the weekend, teams that sit deep, don't allow Rafinha space, don't allow Lewandowski space, Lamine Yamal, they deny them the space, they double up. That's the games that they're going to have to figure out how to break teams down. Games like the Benfica game, and these against teams that are a bit more open, you'll have to figure yourself out defensively. But the space that the Pedris, Yamal, Rafinha, they have to operate in, they're going to kill you at the other end. The problem is, it's very difficult to see yourself scoring 3 and 4 every game. So at some point, from a defensive aspect, you're going to have to be better. He said it watching the game, he said, Real Madrid could win this league again without playing
Yep.
brilliantly, because Barcelona could gift it for them with their defensive mistakes.
It's not even a high line. It's a ridiculous line.
Right.
Because when Craig's talking about the standing a yard off the halfway line trying to play offside, that is just madness. I mean, it really is. And in terms of today, I kind of go the other way for Craig. I think it's a penalty. There's no question he bumps him. And so when we start talking about how hard was the bump, for me the point is he bumps him.
No, what I'm saying is I don't know. Because
Right.
they didn't really go back.
No, there was never a definitive
They didn't go
angle.
back on the
There should have
broadcast with a close-up and saying, look, here it is.
I blame Robbo's co-commentator.
Yeah.
I think Laporta's been on the phone. Right. La Liga 1 week, UEFA the next week. Do not. So we didn't see
Yeah, there was
a
nothing
real
definitive.
definitive
Well, they got away.
close-up of
they
that
got away
challenge.
with it today, and they
Yeah.
get away with the way they're playing because they're in such a good position.
Yeah.
Because it could have been 6. It could have been 6 each or 7 each today. Quite honestly.
Really.
But they won.
Yes,
and we're,
exactly,
we're
exactly.
very anti-Barcelona wins.
No,
here. It's
I'm
like,
sure any
you know,
Barcelona fan would admit that. Or,
What?
well,
You
we'll
mean
see.
they've got common sense?
One positive thing, again, Robbo, is that when you saw it, as Craig mentioned during the hype, when you saw it as Rafinha with that space, with the way he's playing this season, you almost knew it was going to end up in a goal.
Yeah, because at the moment he's got great pace. He makes the right runs.
Yeah.
He stayed on side because when that ball was played, he was just inside his own half. He made the right run. He's finishing. He has been absolutely magnificent this season.
It's what they thought they were going to get from Ousmane Dembele.
Ah, yes. Yeah,
You know, they thought they were going to get that pace, that directness, and the end product. And, you know, one of the things with Dembele that's a huge difference to Rafinha, particularly this season, but even to some extent last, is Rafinha's end product compared to what Dembele was. Dembele's so erratic. And so when you're playing at this level with this sort of pressure at Barcelona, you have to be clinical in the final third. And the two wide guys for Barcelona are very much that.